Hi everybody, here is a short video to explain what we'll be learning about in Year 5 during the summer term. During maths this term, we'll be following on from our decimals learning from the spring term and begin to subtract decimals and add them together, as well as moving on to multiplying and dividing decimals as well. We'll then do an assessment on our decimals learning and then move on to identifying angles, using protractors to find the size of the angles and be able to calculate the size of missing angles based on the information that we are given. To help support this at home, we will be posting any useful resources that we find, as well as the work that we have done in the lesson that day. Our class novels for the summer term will be A Pocketful of Stars by Aisha Bushby and The Journey to Joburg by Beverly Naidoo. These are two very different books with very different themes, so we hope that there will be something for everybody with these. We'll be exploring the themes within these books, the characters. We also make sure we have lessons that focus on a PSHE based question so that children are really able to dive into the emotions of the characters in these books, as well as it being a really good resource to explore some more sensitive issues in a nicer way. Our English unit for this term is narrative writing. The children have written narrative pieces before, but based on a very different story. This term, we are going to write in a piece based upon the Mexican festival Day of the Dead. We'll be recapping all of the features of a narrative text, as well as learning all about this unique festival and piecing together the descriptive techniques that we need to use to, at the end of the unit, write our own descriptive narrative piece on the Day of the Dead. After half term, we'll be moving on to a different English unit, which we will inform you about at the time, as we really like the children to have a say in what their next unit will be. Our topic for this term is space, and we'll be covering this across a lot of different subjects so that the children have a broad and balanced knowledge. In art, we will be using recycled, natural and man-made materials to create sculptures of the solar system using the paper mache technique. It would be really, really helpful if you could save any newspapers that you happen to find, so as we will need a lot for our sculptures. In science, we will be describing the movement of the Earth and the other planets. We will be describing the movement of the moon as well. We will be able to identify and explain the size, shape and position of Earth, Sun and the Moon, and explain how night and day are created, and we'll be able to use diagrams and models to do this. The children will be introduced to a model to show them how day and night are created, as well as models to show them the size of the planets in comparison to each other. Our geography unit will start off by using an atlas to identify the countries that were involved in the space race. It would be really, really helpful for the children if you can conduct some research at home or encourage them to do their own research on the space race, as it will really help to consolidate their knowledge. We'll be comparing the natural features of the Earth and Moon to see how similar and different they are. We'll be identifying the perfect weather conditions for liftoff in a rocket as well. Moving on to history, we will be able to understand what is meant by the space age. We'll understand who Yuri Gagarin was and his impact on the space race. Doing some research on him would also be really, really helpful. We will be using different ways to research a historical figure. These will be different people involved in space technology and space exploration. We will be debating the importance of the hidden figures of space, where children will understand the deeper side of space exploration. As well as our exciting space learning, we have also got our non-core subjects to focus on. In PE, we are going to be doing our basketball unit, where we will develop protective dribbling techniques when we are up against an opponent. We will think about how to move into space to support our teammates and to decide when to pass and when to dribble. We'll be able to perform a set shot and a jump shot to help us in our basketball lessons. During music this term, we will be singing in unison or parts and singing backing vocals. We will also experience rapping and solo singing, and we'll be singing with awareness for actually being in tune with the music. During RE, we are learning to understand how Sikhs show their commitment to God and to evaluate if there is a best way. This is a great opportunity for children to use their thinking and really go deeper into their learning. Home learning for children in Year 5 is very important. It helps to set them up for Year 6 and also gives them the best opportunity to succeed in their learning. We expect 5-minute snippets of home reading 3 times a week, recorded as a voice note on Shobi. This really helps them with their reading comprehension, their spelling, their writing, and their overall deeper thinking. They receive dojos for each time that they submit a home reading voice note. Some children's work is done on Shobi. Both of the teachers will mark this work on Shobi, allowing the children to complete their feedback at home. They will have corrections to make, they will have next step questions to answer, and they will have the opportunity to complete anything that they've missed out. We recommend 10 minutes per night of TT Rockstars for the children. Multiplication is a really important part of their maths lesson and supports them in every single aspect of their maths learning. The more practice that the children have, the better, the easier they find the rest of their learning. We'll be able to give you login details for Shobi if you need them, as well as the logins for TT Rockstars if you have lost those as well. If you have any questions about what we are learning this summer term or about how you can help to support your child at home with their learning, please do not hesitate to come and ask one of us. We are always more than happy to help.